Hello and a very warm welcome to our special edition, the Question Hour show from the Parliament House complex, the show where we bring you important unstarred questions asked by the members of the upper house during the previous session of the Rajya Sabha and the response given by the government. I'm Kriti Mishra and joining me is my colleague Rajat Kain.
Thanks for watching this edition of the show. Kriti, let's begin with this edition.
Absolutely. And the first question in this edition is from three members, Member Chaya Verma, Member Vishamar Prasad Nishat, as well as Member Sukhram Singh Yadav. And this question has been posed to the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. And these members have sought to know about India's stand on regional comprehensive economic partnership recently.
Well, answering to the query, the government said India was negotiating a free trade agreement known as Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, which included in China and 14 other countries, namely Australia, Brunei, Cambodia, Indonesia, Japan, Laos, Malaysia, Myanmar, New Zealand, Philippines, Singapore, South Korea, Thailand and Vietnam. During the third RCEP summit, which was held on 4th November 2019 in Bangkok, India highlighted the fact that the current structure of RCEP did not reflect the RCEP guideline, guiding principles or address the outstanding issues and concerns of India, in the light of which it did not join the consensus. India's position in RCEP negotiation was formulated to achieve balanced outcomes, balancing ambitions with addressing domestic sensitivities, including of the agriculture and other sector. The next question was asked by the member Dr. Vikas Mahatme from Ministry of Defence, where he sought to know if the government is planning to open Sainik School for girls.
In the response, the government says that the pilot project for admission of girl children along with boys in Sainik School, Mizoram, was started in the academic session 2018-19. After its success, the government has decided to implement admission of girl children in other Sainik schools as well. The admission of girl children in 5 Sainik schools, including Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Uttarakhand, Maharashtra and also Bijapur in Karnataka, have been approved for admission for the academic session 2020 and 21. Sainik schools have proven their utility by providing a large number of cadets joining the National Defence Academy, Indian Naval Academy as well as Officers Training Academy. The recommendations of the 7th Central Pay Commission have been implemented in all Sainik schools. Further, regular in-service programs are conducted to the teaching staff to keep them abreast with the evolving educational equipment as well as technologies. So this was an additional information that was given by the government to the response of this question. And now let's move on to the next question that has been asked by two members, Member Vijala Satyanath as well as Member Vikas Mahatme. And these members have posed this question to the Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizers and have asked whether any progress has been made in Pradhan Mantri Bharatiya Jan Aushadhi Pariyojana.
Well, in the reply, the government said that as on 6 December 2019, 5,849 Jan Aushadhi Kendra are functional across country under Pradhan Mantri Bharatiya Jan Aushadhi Pariyojana. Out of this, 690 Jan Aushadhi Kendra have been opened since May 2019. As on 6 December 2019, 709 Jan Aushadhi Kendra have been opened across the country in current financial year. Out of this, 690 Jan Aushadhi Kendra have been opened since May 2019. In order to help citizens in locating Jan Aushadhi Kendra, a mobile application Jan Aushadhi Sugam was launched on 27th August 2019. This mobile application will not only help to relocate Jan Aushadhi Kendra through Google Map, but also help in knowing whether a particular medicine is available in a particular Jan Aushadhi Kendra. It will also help in comparing maximum retail price of Jan Aushadhi Kendra with prices of other brands. Location-wise, complete details of Jan Aushadhi Kendra are also available on the Ministry's official website www.janaushadhi.gov.in. Moving on, the next question was asked by Member MP Virendra Kumar from Ministry of Corporate Affairs, and he asked whether the government proposes to incentivize companies for CSR investment in areas like education and healthcare. If so, what are the details?
In the response, the government says that corporate social responsibility or CSR is a board-driven process and the board of the company is empowered to decide the activities to be undertaken as per Schedule 7 of the Companies Act 2013, taking into consideration the recommendations of its CSR committee. The entire CSR structure is disclosure-based and CSR-mandated companies are required to file details of CSR amount spent annually in MCA 21 registry. Whenever there is any violation of the CSR provision, which is reported, action against such non-compliant companies are initiated as per the provisions of the Companies Act 2013 after due examination of records. So far, sanction of prosecution has been accorded in 366 cases. All CSR-related offences are compoundable. So far, 118 applications for compounding have been made and 37 cases have already been compounded. And now let's move on to the next question that has been asked by member Sanjay Seth, and this one also pertains to the Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. And Mr. Seth has asked the government whether it has achieved the objective of setting up Khadi and Village Industries Commission.
Well, replying to the query, the ministry said Khadi and Village Industries Commission is a statutory body created by an Act of Parliament. Now, KVIC function as planning, promotion, implementation, organisation of programs for development of Khadi and village industries in rural and urban areas and for generating sustainable non-farm employment opportunities at a low per capita investment. KVIC has so far provided employment opportunities to 146.99 lakh persons all over the country through implementation of following schemes: Prime Minister's Employment Generation Programme, Scheme of Fund for Regeneration of Traditional Industries and Khadi and Gram Udyog Vikas Yojana. Progress of Khadi and Village Industries programs during last 3 years is given in the annexures of the reply. The performance and functioning of KVIC is reviewed by ministries of MSAB from time to time. As an outcome, existing and better performing PMGEP and Mudra units have been allowed second financial assistance up to 1 crore. Now, moving on to last question of this edition of the show. The question was asked by Dr. Banda Prakash from Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying. He asked whether government has any special plans to motivate persons engaged in river, lake, pond fishing and provide incentive for keeping them commercially alive in this field.
The response given by the government is in affirmative, and the government says that Department of Fisheries, Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying has been implementing a centrally sponsored scheme on blue revolution, integrated development and management of fisheries and development of fisheries and aquaculture in the country. The CSS provides financial assistance to the state governments as well as union territories to support the fish farmers, fishers and entrepreneurs for construction of ponds, renovation of existing ponds or tanks, installation of cages or pens for fish culture in reservoirs, and also open water bodies development and waterlogged and wetland riverine fisheries and conservation and awareness programs, fishing craft and gear, integrated development of reservoirs, establishment of hatcheries, construction of seed rearing area, establishment of recirculatory aquaculture system, establishment of fish feed mill, and also development of post-harvest infrastructure.
Well, that's it in this edition of Questioner. Don't go anywhere away. Keep watching Rajya Sabha TV for the Hindi edition Prashna Kal.